Tonight on CTV News, snow and cold weather make their way to Fort Collins.
And e-scooters flock to CSU. Find out more about their impact.
And the electric rate hike that could affect you. All this and more tonight on CTV News.
Good evening, Rams. Thank you for joining us on this cold Tuesday. I'm Kenny Frederick.
And I'm Jake O. The snow and cold have arrived with full force in Fort Collins, and much of northern Colorado remain under a winter storm advisory until Wednesday at 9 in the morning. Just minutes ago, the CSU Public Safety team sent out an email saying they are monitoring weather conditions tonight, but have not yet called a snow delay. They asked students and faculty to leave early tomorrow morning and be cautious during the commute. For more, let's head over to weather anchor Ren Wadsworth for how much more snow we should expect tonight.
That's right. Just like Jake said, we have a winter weather advisory from about 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. tomorrow morning. Today, we are expecting about 5 to 10 inches of snow, but only got about 5. We're expecting about 3 more inches as we move into tonight. As you can see, that winter weather is moving into the eastern side of the state, and as we move into tomorrow morning, we're expecting 3 more inches. If you don't have a place to stay, Rams, Kenny has more information on where you can stay in Fort Collins. That's all I have for you right now, but if you want a more in-depth weather forecast, tune in after the break.
The city of Fort Collins is opening their emergency shelter tonight and tomorrow due to the snow and temperatures near 0 degrees.
That's right, Kenny. The city is opening up the 2 shelters for anyone that may need them. The shelters that will be open are Catholic Charities at 460 Linden Center Drive, and that's going to open at 6:30 in the evening, both today and tomorrow. Fort Collins Rescue Mission will also be open, but at 5:30, both days as well.
The city reminds residents to call 911 in case of a life-threatening situation or emergency. The future of the land where Hughes Stadium could be decided at next Tuesday's City Council meeting. According to the Coloradan, the council is expected to vote on zoning of the area. The contract between CSU and the developer Leonard Homes asks for 500 to 600 homes to be built in the area. But the developer says that it won't develop the land if it doesn't meet a 600 home threshold. The council will meet next Tuesday at 6 in the evening to discuss the future of the site.
The Department of Veterans Affairs announced yesterday that it's planning on opening a new VA clinic in Loveland. According to 9 News, the new hospital would serve Loveland and Fort Collins, easing the capacity at the Cheyenne Clinic. Construction on the clinic is expected to take 2 years to complete and is expected to be complete in 2022. Once the new clinic opens in Loveland, the Fort Collins VA clinic is expected to close.
Construction is shutting down Cross Drive in South Campus. The 3-week closure began yesterday and is expected to last until November 15th. The road closure is expected to affect the bus barn, the Orthopedic Research Center, Transitional Medicine Institute, and Equine Performance Analysis Facility. Drivers are asked to use Bay Road down to Drake Road for the detour.
Fort Collins Utilities has plans to raise electricity prices 3 to 5% by 2020. Electricity is not the only utility that could be increasing in price, however.
Fort Collins Utilities has recently announced a plan to raise the cost of electricity for residents by 5% in 2020, about a $3.50 increase.
With the utilities is looking at a 5% increase for electric, and really the utility's been drawing down on reserves the last few years, and really we're trying to reverse the operating income so we can plan for some of our capital expenditures that the utility's needing down the road.
Fort Collins' increasing population plays a part in trying to conserve our resources.
Over the past decade, as we've seen the community grow in population, Fort Collins Utilities has spent a considerable amount on energy conservation and water conservation. And so even though the population has grown significantly over the past decade, the amount of energy that we sell today, that we consume as a community today, is the same amount we consumed a decade ago.
To build out the stormwater infrastructure, there's some pretty large capital expenditures needed for that. And this is really to build up reserves to pay off some of the debt issuances that are expected in the future.
For now, it is safe for Fort Collins residents to expect a 1 to 3% increase for utilities across the board in the coming year.
For more information on Fort Collins Utilities' plans to increase utility prices, visit fcgov.com/affordability-portfolio.
The cause of the explosion that left 2 people dead in Firestone has been determined. Federal investigators found that the cause was a pipeline that was damaged during the construction of the home. The reporter also found that local government's approval of the development over oil wells were also partially to blame. According to the Reporter Herald, the state and the Colorado Oil and Gas Commission cracked down on oil and gas to provide coordinates of where the pipes are in the state, but didn't require them to give maps of where they're located.
Larimer County is working with the city of Fort Collins and Loveland in order to clean up groundwater contamination at the landfill. According to the Reporter Herald, the landfill has been causing groundwater contamination since the 80s, and since the landfill was built before stricter environmental regulations that we have today. The county is expected to submit their proposal by November 30th.
You may have noticed all of the birds on campus this week, and I'm talking about the ones flying by in the bike lanes rather than in the sky.
Students now have another way of getting to classes and around town. For $1 to start and a 33-cent per minute flat fee, students can easily drive around campus on a new Bird scooter. The scooters have a new set of rules. They're not allowed on campus sidewalks, so riders must ride on the right side of the road in bike lanes and paths.
Here on campus, you're allowed to use our trails. An e-scooter can use our trails. They can use the bike lanes. They can't use sidewalks.
Riders must walk them through the dismount zones, just like bikes and skateboards, and an 8-mile-per-hour speed limit is set on certain parts of campus.
We've created slow zones where you're expected to travel at 8 miles an hour.
Helmets are not required, but highly recommended, as the scooters can get up to 19 miles an hour.
We have 2 events this week where Bird is handing out helmets. And the helmets are free if you come to their event. The next event will be Thursday at the Newton statue.
E-scooters are a hot new trend that have been going around the nation, and now they're here in Fort Collins.
I think a lot of students were really excited for them. I know I was until I realized actually how much it costs.
But not all students are supportive of the scooters.
I feel like it's just a trend, and I don't think it's going to last too long personally.
For more information, you can download the Bird app or even visit the Alternative Transportation Department's website at green.colostate.edu.
The city of Fort Collins will be handing out free bike lights on November 7th from 4:30 to 6:30 in the evening at the Northside Azitlan Community Center on 112 East Willow Street. The bike lights will be first come, first serve. The city hopes that this will help boost bike safety with the sun going down sooner and daylight savings time this Sunday. Well, Rams, as we all know, this Thursday is Halloween. What are your guys' plans?
I'm going to a concert with an old friend.
What are you doing?
I'm going to be chilling at home. It sounds cold. It's going to be cold.
Yeah,
so.
It's definitely going to be cold. I have friends flying in, but I think it's pretty much going to be a chill Halloween. What are you guys dressing up as?
Ooh, I'm going as a skeleton, and it's going to look real good.
Okay.
I'm thinking I'm going to be a candy-eating couch potato.
Wait, is this a real costume or
Oh, no, that's what I'm going to be doing.
Okay,
I was playing into it, sorry.
Well, I don't have a Halloween costume. So if you are like me, Rams, you probably still don't have a Halloween costume either. So now in the normal world, this could be acceptable, but in the college world, there's always something to do the week of Halloween. So I went to a local-owned Halloween store to learn more about where college students can get everything they need for the week.
This local family-owned business loves the Fort Collins community that supports them. So, Brandon Lilly and his wife make sure to supply affordable options for all customers.
It's one thing to go online and buy a product kind of sight unseen. You hope it's quality, you hope it fits. Once that money leaves the community, it leaves. It leaves Fort Collins. It doesn't come back and support what makes Fort Collins great and the whole reason that people even wanted to come to CSU in the first place. So for us, it's always been really important to make sure that we're supporting the community and supporting CSU, and hopefully they'll be supporting us as well and keeping us around for another 38 years.
Although their store may be busy on weeks like Halloween, they cautiously supply costumes for other popular festivities as well.
Festivals and Red Rocks, you've got certain bands that come through, and people love to come in here. They can get their body jewels, they can get leggings or UV reactive chunky glitter. We're transitioning all of our glitter over to biodegradable glitter, so we're not contributing to the plastics issue. Our glitter is made with wood cellulose, so things like that we're always wanting to consider what do people want to buy, but then also how can we make sure that we're not contributing to social issues, economic issues, or issues like that where we've got plastics in our oceans and things like that. So those are things that we consider as well.
Life of the Party wants to be involved and wants the Fort Collins community to come to them for all of their party needs.
Everybody kind of has this different opinion of what the life of the party is. And for me, I always want to be the place that they know that they can go, they can get good quality products, good quality costume. We can help them make costumes. We've got a bunch of wigs and professional grade makeup, so we can help you create what you want on a budget, but also something that you can be really proud of. You take your pictures and keep your memories forever and be proud of what you've done.
If you're still wondering what you're going to be for Halloween, like me, luckily for you, there are options outside your front door. To learn more about this local family-owned business, you can go to lifeofthepartystore.com. But don't go anywhere just yet, Rams, because I will be back after the break with more fun things to do in Fort Collins this weekend.